I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. The case against a man arrested for homicide in Middletown last weekend is moving forward. An Orange County grand jury has voted to indict 19-year-old Brandon Rosado for the fatal shooting of 19-year-old Otis Devon Singleton of Mount Vernon last Saturday night. Singleton was gunned down while sitting in a car in front of Rosado's residence at 37 Broad Street. Another man in the car, Peter Irons, was shot in the leg. The charges will be revealed next week when the full indictment is handed up and unsealed. When he was arrested Monday, Rosado was charged with second-degree murder and felony assault. New information has been released that could shed some light on what might have led to the fatal plane crash at Dutchess County Airport last month. According to a preliminary report from the National Transportation Safety Board, a critical navigational instrument had just been replaced on the single-engine plane. The crash nosed down. It took the lives of the pilot, 60-year-old William Clues of Poughkeepsie, and his passenger, 23-year-old Matthew Smith, an airplane mechanic from Putnam Lake. The report stated that Clues and Smith took a ride to determine if the instrument was working correctly. It will be months before the NTSB issues its final report on the cause of the crash. They're just wild about Harry. All those folks who lined up today to check out Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, the 8th and final installment in the phenomenally successful and lucrative Harry Potter film series. Potter fans lined up this morning outside Middletown cinemas to catch a 10 a.m. showing of the final chapter in the film series. Most of the Potter fans liked what they saw.
Well, I'm a teacher, and I actually got the book when it was the Philosopher's Stone from Europe. So 13 years we've been reading this book with my students, so we're excited.
And the movie worked out, was as good as you'd hoped?
It was awesome. Yeah, it was really great. Liked it. Cried, laughed, cheered, right? It was good.
But there were those who loved the book and thought the film didn't quite measure up.
I am an avid Harry Potter fan. I have seen every movie. I've gone to every midnight show. I loved the movie because we loved Dan Radcliffe, but we were a little disappointed in the ending because they really drew it out.
At the end part, I was just sitting there shaking my head like, that's not what happened. Because we've read the books before, and I just thought that it would have been better if they actually put what was in the book in there, and that's not what happened. So that's not how it ended, but we loved it anyway.
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 figures to make magic at the box office. There was more than $32 million in advance ticket sales, and to this point, the Potter franchise has grossed more than $2 billion, and that's just here in the U.S. Governor Andrew Cuomo has been crisscrossing the state with pen in hand to ceremonially sign the state's new texting while driving law.
It's a much larger problem than you may think. National studies by the AAA, the Automobile Association of America, say about 1 in 5 drivers text or read their emails while they're driving. This is above and beyond cell phones.
The new law makes the use of a handheld electronic device while behind the wheel a primary offense. That means police can now pull you over if they spot drivers texting. Up to now, they could only write a texting ticket if they pulled you over for a different offense. Violators will face fines up to $150 and a 3-point license penalty. The governor says it's all about preventing accidents and saving lives. Have you ever pulled into a gas station after seeing the price for regular on their sign, only to find out that the posted price is for cash purchases only, and that using a credit card will cost you more, maybe a lot more? It's a case of buyer beware, and reporter Christian Livermore will have the complete story, as well as some motorist reaction in an upcoming edition of the Times-Herald Record. Some pomp and circumstance today at West Point, where Brigadier General Ted Martin officially became the new Commandant of Cadets at the Academy. Martin's new duties include overseeing cadet military training and West Point's athletic programs. Martin is a West Point graduate and former captain of the Army swim team. He's replacing Brigadier General William Rapp, who will be heading to Afghanistan. Reporter Adam Bosch will have the story of Brigadier General Martin this weekend in the Times-Herald Record. And while you were sleeping last night, there was a party going on behind the firehouse in Campbell Hall. was the annual Carnival put on by firemen and community members for kids who suffer from XP, ectoderma pigmentosum, a rare genetic light-sensitive disorder that forces kids to stay indoors during daylight hours or risk potentially life-threatening burns and tumors. It was the 15th year for the XP Carnival, and arriving kids and their families enjoyed a special treat, a ride in a tethered hot air balloon.
That's been a dream of mine for about 3 years, to get a hot air balloon here. Many people see them flying around up here in Orange County on a nice, bright, sunny day. Unfortunately, these children don't get out on those nice sunny days, so the closest they get is maybe the television or a picture. I really wanted to try and get just a demonstration, actually, but these kids are going to get the opportunity to go up about 50 feet if they want, so it's going to be hopefully a high point in their lives.
XP patient Katie was one of the first to climb into the basket and get airborne.
I've never been in a hot air balloon in my life. It was a lot of fun.
The XP kids are currently staying at Camp Sundown in Columbia County. Katie's mom and dad created the special nighttime camp, giving the children and their families a chance to enjoy a real summer vacation. Well, get ready to fire up the barbecue because we're headed for a beautiful summer weekend. We'll be basking in sunshine tomorrow with temperatures getting into the low to mid 80s. A little more humidity in the forecast for Sunday, but we'll enjoy more sunshine with the highs inching up to around 90 degrees. Record Online is the place to find news when it breaks and stay informed all weekend long by picking up copies of the Times-Herald Record. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.